Hello. Hello. Are you gonna tell? I'm a bit of a Ghostbusters fan. It seems that everyone and their mom knows what Ghostbusters is. With a topic so well documented, you might think that there's nothing more to say about it. However, there are still plenty of interesting aspects that are not as well known. In addition to being the highest grossing film for 6 years, it incorporates real-life science and overcame a plethora of production hurdles. The end product was a film series that spanned decades and appealed to generations of viewers. First, let's establish what Ghostbusters is. If you happen to be in the minority of people that have not seen any of the films, here's a synopsis. The plot is based upon 4 physicists who develop ways to battle ghosts and contain them, saving the world. The way the movie tackles a depiction of ghosts is more complicated than you may think. The movie depicts 7 different classes of ghosts, ranging from small mists to a 100-foot marshmallow man. These ghosts are being led by a Class 7 entity named Gozer, who intends to destroy the world. The 4 physicists are being played by Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, and Ernie Hudson. They wield miniature particle accelerators that can wrap a beam around ghosts and direct them towards a trap, which in turn sucks the ghosts in and contains them temporarily. Now, if you think all that is complicated, you should hear what it took to make the movie happen. According to Leslie Bloom of Vanity Fair, the team at Columbia Pictures had a lot to do and not a lot of time to do it. Additionally, they lost 2 of the original 3 actors. One was sadly due to John Belushi's passing. As a result, they had to rewrite the script and recast characters, eventually adding a 4th Ghostbuster. With original cost estimates of $200 million and only a year to rewrite, shoot, and edit the movie, they faced quite a daunting task. The movies have had quite an impact over the years. Though the first 2 films were made approximately 20 years before any of us were born, and despite the hardships the cast and crew faced, they are still very popular movies, and there's a good reason for that. One device that led to the movie's success, as well as the humor, was the use of improvised lines. In fact, some of the scenes are made up entirely of improv, especially those of Bill Murray. Other devices that contributed to the film's success were a top-notch soundtrack and impressive visual effects for the time. In the most recent movie, the use of visual effects was used to memorialize the late great Harold Ramis and, in a way, original director Ivan Reitman as well. The movies also used a lot of artistic creativity. An interesting piece of trivia is the inspiration for the minions of Gozer, which were modeled off of a statue in Philadelphia. Another interesting fact is that the handle of the ghost jets were modeled after a curling stone. One unexpected success was how popular the film was with children, which led to the creation of 2 animated TV shows, spanning a total runtime of 6 years, and 2, soon to be 3, sequel films, and the 2016 reboot, but that's a topic for another day. Additionally, the franchise produced lots of merchandising and inspired people around the world to form their own Ghostbusters group, including a group in the city of Coatesville. You can't talk about Ghostbusters without mentioning the proton packs. You might think the proton packs are a fictional device only used to progress the plot. However, when being designed by Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis, real-life machinery and science was taken into account. In fact, and while we're pretty far off from the multicolored proton streams from the films, there are real-life counterparts. Some of you may have heard of the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland. According to the writers at CERN, it is a near 17-mile ring of superconducting material used to create a particle accelerator. Now, if the name particle accelerator sounds familiar to any of you, that would be because that is what a proton pack is. The ghost trap, more technically known as a muon trap, is able to draw ghosts in when activated. This is based upon the science of muons, which are unstable subatomic particles in real life. According to Heidi Dion of Channeling Spirits, the muons, which are produced by the proton streams clashing with other protons, knock electrons out of orbit and away ghosts down into the trap. Now, if that didn't make any sense to you, that's perfectly fine. Whether you understand the science or not, it still makes for an entertaining movie. In conclusion, Ghostbusters has proven to be a successful and well-known franchise. It did this through the use of expert comedic acting, use of actual scientific knowledge for inspiration, and by overcoming numerous production hurdles. In the end, it provided an experience like no other that has all asking, who are you gonna call?
Very good.